students, welcome back to another session of social studies. Today we are on lesson number 2, Latitude and Longitudes. Now, before coming to the chapter, we have to know that like in the earlier days, just imagine like how people used to find out the time. How they used to find out the time. It is with the help of the latitude and the longitudes. Now, these are actually not, it does not exist on the earth. We cannot see those latitude and longitudes, though those are imaginary lines which we have to imagine that they already exist in the planet Earth. Now look at the sculpture in the picture. Find out what it is, what its significance. So this is a picture and you have to find out what does its significance, what it is showing. Next, in this chapter we will know about latitudes and longitudes. Next, we will also know that how to calculate the time and locate places on the earth. So let's begin. Imaginary lines. We can see a number of lines that run from north to south and east to west on a globe. These are imaginary lines. We use these imaginary lines to find the exact location of a place on a map or on a globe. These imaginary lines are lines of latitude and longitude. So there is a picture of the earth. So can you see some lines are passing from the north pole to the south pole as well as from the east to the west. So these lines are known as lines of longitude and lines of latitude. Now these lines are actually not present on earth. This is an imaginary lines and each lines have degrees on that, numbers on this. So through these lines, people can easily locate the place on a map as well as on a globe. Now let's see about latitudes. Latitudes are the imaginary lines that run from east to west. They encircle the earth horizontally. These lines are parallel and lie at an equal distance from one another. Hence, these are also known as parallels of latitude. The length of the latitudes increases as we move away from the poles towards the center of the earth. There are 181 lines of latitude. So what are latitudes? Latitudes are imaginary lines which runs from east to west. Let us see on a globe. So this is a globe and latitudes are this running from east to west. These lines, okay, these are the lines of the latitude. Okay, these are the lines of the latitude. Now these lines, it runs from the east to the west. Then each line has numbers, degrees, which are measured in degrees. So same likewise, these lines, the total number of lines, latitude we have 181, both on the east as well as on the west. Okay, now next, and these are parallel. These lines are parallel. It has same measurement. Since these are parallel lines, so the measurement are also same. If on the east it is 20 degree, then on the west also it will be 20 degree. The latitude which divides the earth exactly at the center is the longest. It is also known as the equator. Now what is an equator? Now can you see this line? Can you see this black line? This line is the line of equator. So this line divides the earth into two parts. One is north, the other is south. This is the northern hemisphere. Hemisphere means the half of the portion. Then this is the southern hemisphere. Okay, we can also know it as South Pole and North Pole. Understood? The equator divides the earth into two equal halves or hemispheres. The hemispheres above the equator is known as the northern hemisphere, and the one below it is called as southern hemisphere. So the equator, this is the line of equator. It divides the earth into two parts, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Next, lines of latitude are labeled in degrees. So all the lines of latitude are labeled in degrees. If the north side, it starts from 0 degree. If it starts from 0 degree to 90, then on the west also it will start from 0 degree to 90. The latitudes of the northern hemisphere are indicated as degree north. So the northern hemisphere is indicated as degree north. The latitudes of the southern hemisphere are indicated as degree south. And the latitudes of degree south is indicated as degree S. The latitude of the North Pole is 90 degree north and that of the South Pole is 90 degrees south. The equator is a 0 degree latitude. Now this is the equator line which has made the earth into two, which has divided the earth into two, which are known as northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So each and every line has degree. For example, if we are moving towards the north side, then this is a 0 degree. Next comes a 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree. So it will reach on the North Pole as 90 degree. Okay, it will reach on the North Pole as 90 degree. Same likewise, if we are moving on the southern portion, so after 0 will count as 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, 5 degree, then it will reach and end on the southern pole, on the South Pole as 90 degree. So we can see that both the measurements are equal on the North Pole as well as on the South Pole. Next, some important latitudes are latitude and degree. Equator, we know that it has 0 degree. Tropic of Cancer, 23½ degree north. Now where is Tropic of Cancer? This is the equator. So Tropic of Cancer lies on the north and the measurement is 23½ degree, means 30 minutes degree of north. So when we are moving to the north side from the equator, so 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, then we will reach on the 23½ degree north. That portion is known as the Tropic of Cancer. Next we have Tropic of Capricorn, 23½ degree south. Now equator below is known as the southern hemisphere. So when we are moving below the equator on the southern parts, then we'll count as 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, then we'll reach on 23½ degree south. Okay, 23½ degree means 30 minutes degree of south, which lies on the Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer lies on the south of 23½ degree. Next we have the Arctic Circle. The Arctic Circle is 63½ degree north. Arctic Circle north, obviously we know that it is on the top. So after 23½ degree north, we have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we'll count and reach on 66½ degree north, which is the Arctic Circle. This is the Arctic Circle. Next we have the Arctic Circle, which is 66½ degree north. So 66 half degree north means on above the equator. So after 23 half degree north we'll count 24, 25, 26, 27, then we'll reach on 66 half degree north, which has a Arctic Circle. So the Arctic Circle lies on 66 half degree north, which is near about the North Pole. Next we have the Antarctic Circle, which is 66 half degrees south. Then 66 half degrees south means below the equator. After 23 half degree south, we'll count 24, 25, 26 and we'll reach 66 half degree south here near the South Pole. This is the Antarctic Circle. Okay, so these are some of the important latitudes. Now, the Tropic of Cancer passes through India. Now, our next topic is on longitude. Longitudes are the imaginary lines that run from the North Pole to the South Pole. So, these lines which are running straight from the North Pole and reaches the South Pole, these lines are known as the lines of longitude. It starts from the North Pole and ends on the South Pole. Just like how the lines of latitude start, it starts from east to the west. Unlike latitudes, these lines are not parallel to each other. So we know that latitudes are parallel to each other. The measurements are same. They are all of the same length. All latitudes, all longitudes meet at the poles and widen on reaching the equator. So the lines of longitude, when they touch the equator, they spread, the lines spread when they touch the South Pole. Longitudes are important indicators of time. You know, latitudes are indicator of climate zone and longitude are indicator of time. With the help of the longitude, we can easily calculate the time. So they are also known as meridians. The meridian which passes through the Royal Observatory at Greenwich near South London is called the Prime Meridian. So we know that Britishers has ruled India. So that's why the Britishers were the first who has actually found the meridian lines. So they had started the meridian lines, the reference line from their place, which is from the South London. The name of the place is Greenwich. The prime meridian is 0 degree meridian. So the prime meridian, just like the equator is also 0 degree because it is a reference of the earth, and then the prime meridian also 0 degree. Lines of longitude located to the east of prime meridian and indicated with degree east, and those located to the west are indicated with degree west. So they are known as degree east and degree west. Next, the prime meridian divides the earth into two hemispheres, the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. The latitudes divide into two hemispheres, which is known as the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, and the longitudes divides into two hemispheres, which is known as the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. In each hemisphere there are 180 lines of longitude. So total number of lines means if in the east if it has 180 lines, then on the west also it has 180 lines. All the lines are equal, which are numbered from 0 to 180 degrees. So combined we have 360 in total. How many lines we have? We have 360. 180 on the east and 180 on the west. Another important meridian is the international date line at 180 degree longitude. The international date line marks the differences of date between the eastern and the western hemisphere. So each line has different degrees, and with those degrees we can easily locate the time. We can calculate the time, and that line is known as the international date line. It marks the difference of a date between the eastern and the western. Now locating places, how we can locate places with the help of latitude and longitude. Longitudes and latitudes form a network called grid. Now what is grid? Grid means the lines which comes and contacts with each other. These are known as a grid. The lines of longitude and the lines of latitude. The grid helps us to accurately locate places on the maps and globes. To locate a place on a map or globe, we must know the degrees of the latitude and longitude. We can find the exact position of the place at the point where these two lines cross each other. For example, New Delhi lies at approximately 23.5 degree north to 77.5 degree 29 degree north and 77 degree east. So these are the grids, and with the help of these grids we can locate and find out the time. Approximately what is the time? Now calculating time. Longitude help in calculating time. The difference between two consecutive longitude is of 4 minutes. So the difference between each and every longitude is 4 minutes. If you have started from degree 1, then when you are coming to degree 2, then you have to keep on adding 4. 4 minutes will keep on adding. When we travel eastwards from the prime meridian, we need to add 4 minutes of passing each meridian. When we travel westwards from the prime meridian, we need to subtract 4 minutes as we pass each meridian. So when we are passing from the east, 4 minutes will keep on increasing for each and every lines of longitude. And when we are traveling from the west, 4 minutes will keep on subtracting from each and every lines of longitude. The moment we cross to the east of the international date line, we gain or add a day. Similarly, if we cross to the west of the international date line, we lose or subtract a day. So either we gain or we lose. We gain when we start our journey from east, and we lose when we start our journey from the west. Now let us understand this with the help of an example. The current time at the prime meridian is 12 noon. Location A is at 4 degree east longitude and location B is at 4 degree west longitude. Then the time at the location A will be 12:16 p.m. and the time at location B will be 11:44 a.m. So this was a simple example. You can find you can find out the exact time by referring a globe or referring a map where you can see the lines of latitude and longitude. Now there is an activity. Which continent is at 20 degree north and 140 degree east? So you have to find out the answer by referring a map or globe. Which continent is at 40 degree north and 100 degree east? So this also you have to find out. Next we have filling the blanks. Latitudes and longitudes are also known as imaginary lines. They are only imaginary lines. Exactly, they are not present. The 0 degree latitude is the equator. So the equator, the measurement of the equator is 0 degree. This is the line which divides the earth into two parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through India. The 0 degree longitude is known as prime meridian. Now choose the correct answers. Imaginary lines running parallel to the equator are called latitudes. Longitudes and latitudes form a network called grid. These are the networks. The prime meridian is a longitude of 0 degree. The prime meridian starts from 0 degree. Next is match the following. Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree north latitude. Prime Meridian, 0 degree longitude. Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north latitude. Equator, 0 degree latitude. Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south latitude. See, in order to know and understand how we can calculate the time, you have to refer a map or a globe and see which are the degrees, how many degrees are there, in which country the degrees are lying. So in this way, you can easily find out the time. So this was about the chapter Latitudes and Longitudes. I hope so you must have understood. So let us meet in the next session with the next new topic. So till then, take care and thank you.